How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about all things relating to the MCU. Today we have some really big news about the fourth Thor film, Thor Love and Thunder, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy are officially confirmed to be making an appearance in Thor Love and Thunder, and more than just dropping Thor off on wherever he's going in his quest in the new movie. They will actually have quite a bit of airtime in the movie and will contribute to the story. So, you know what that means? It's looking like Thor and Star-Lord are going to have to fight over who's captain of the ship a little bit longer.
Well, are you making your voice deeper?
No, you are. You're imitating the God-Man. It's weird. No, I'm not.
He just did it again.
This is my voice.
So we'll talk about the Guardians in Thor Love and Thunder, talk about Vin Diesel mentioning Alpha Groot and the future of Groot in the MCU, and talk about how Adam Warlock and the Silver Surfer are the most likely reasons for the Guardians to team up with Thor in Thor Love and Thunder. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. So originally, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 film was supposed to come out before Thor Love and Thunder. According to comicbook.com, Thor was set to appear with the Guardians in Guardians Volume 3. So Thor and the Guardians were destined to be together in the MCU no matter what. However, with the firing and rehiring of James Gunn, but him having to direct Suicide Squad before he can do anything with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it got pushed back. And now, of course, as we know, we are getting Thor Love and Thunder before Guardians 3. However, the Guardians are tagging along. So this confirmation that the Guardians are going to be appearing in Thor Love and Thunder comes from Vin Diesel himself. Of course, he plays the voice of Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, and in a recent interview for his upcoming movie Bloodshot, he talked about the Guardians of the Galaxy and how it's confirmed that they're going to be in Thor Love and Thunder.
Thor will also, the director talked to me about how Thor will incorporate some of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which would be very interesting. Nobody knows, but maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
So according to Vin Diesel, 1, the Suicide Squad might be pretty good, and 2, it is confirmed that some of the Guardians will appear in Thor Love and Thunder, and he said that Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok and the upcoming Thor 4, confirmed that to him himself. Now, this doesn't come as that big of a surprise. After all, this was set up at the end of Avengers Endgame, where Thor left with the Guardians on their ship.
I'm not sure. For the first time in 1,000 years, I have no path. I do have a ride, though.
Move it or lose it, hairbag.
What are you doing?
But Vin Diesel may have revealed a little bit about what to expect from the Guardians in Thor Love and Thunder a little bit later on in the interview.
I only have 2 words about that character, and it is Alpha Groot.
So Vin Diesel mentions Alpha Groot. Now, in the comics, there is no character classified as Alpha Groot, so this could mean one of 2 things. One is that he could become a version of King Groot. King Groot is an alternate version of Groot, who never met Rocket Raccoon, never met or joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, but actually went on to become a galactic warlord instead. He basically looks like Groot from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film if he evolved.
What the hell?
Groot has been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle.
If he seems a little bit familiar, it's also because he appears in Marvel's Contest of Champions. So he could go on to become King Groot in the MCU, or he could go on to become the leader of his species, the Flora Colossus. We know that Guardians 3 is going to explore the history and origin of Rocket Raccoon. James Gunn has confirmed this himself. So it would make sense that they would explore Groot's origin as well. But think back to Avengers Endgame, where they mentioned that Thor actually speaks Groot. And Groot and Thor do have a pretty tight relationship. After all, Groot's arm is the handle for Stormbreaker. So maybe one of the places that Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy go to is Groot's homeworld. And there we may get to see Alpha Groot. But why else would the Guardians of the Galaxy be teaming up with Thor in a movie that is specifically about Thor and Jane Foster becoming Thor as well? Well, there are really 2 main most likely options. 1 is Adam Warlock, and 2 is the Silver Surfer. Both options work perfectly, and the stories that they could go down make perfect sense. For starters, it is official that Christian Bale has been cast for Thor Love and Thunder, and he will be playing the villain. This was confirmed by Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie.
Into our lives, Thor Love and Thunder, what can you give us? Have you read the script yet?
Yeah, I've read the script. I can't tell you much.
some familiar faces, some new people into the mix. Christian Bale is going to play our villain, which is going to be fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Now, Christian Bale's character that he's going to be playing in Thor Love and Thunder is said to be otherworldly and alien-like. That could definitely be Adam Warlock or the Silver Surfer. And there's a big precedence for both. At the end of Guardians Volume 2, Adam Warlock was set up. The High Sovereign introduced his cocoon, and Aisha explained that his sole purpose was to destroy the Guardians of the Galaxy.
More beautiful, more capable of destroying the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I shall call him Adam.
So Adam Warlock was supposed to be, at least for the most part, a villain of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now ultimately in the comics he starts off as a villain but becomes good. And since we know that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be picking up right after the events of Avengers Endgame where Thor leaves with the Guardians, Adam Warlock should exist and be out of his cocoon somewhere in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 presumably ended not too long before Avengers Infinity War started. The Guardians found Thor, and then at the end of Infinity War, Thanos snapped. Then of course in Endgame we went 5 years forward into the future. And at the end of Endgame, when Thor and the Guardians leave together, that is presumably between 5 and 7 years after the events of Guardians Volume 2. 5 to 7 years is definitely enough time for Adam Warlock to fully form. So in theory, but also logically, Adam Warlock should be out there somewhere searching for the Guardians because that is his sole purpose he was created for. And Adam Warlock is one of the most powerful characters ever created by Marvel and will definitely be one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. And if we consider this, that means that the Guardians really can't take him on by themselves, especially after Star-Lord lost his celestial-like powers in Guardians 2. However, Thor most likely can. Yes, he's still technically bro Thor after Avengers Endgame, but he still managed to put up a heck of a fight against Thanos in Endgame. Perhaps running into Adam Warlock is what he needs to kick his butt into shape. And based off of what we know about Guardians Volume 3, Adam Warlock isn't going to be the primary main villain. In fact, we have every reason to believe that Adam Warlock will eventually be good. The main villain of the film is most likely going to be the High Evolutionary. And Thor is still most likely to appear in the next Guardians film. That was the plan before Guardians 3 got moved back. And it still sounds like James Gunn hasn't really changed much of the script, because he's had it written for quite some time now, and that script involved Thor. So in a way, the story will start in Thor Love and Thunder, but will end in Guardians Volume 3. And not to mention the first mention of the High Evolutionary was in the Mighty Thor number 133, and the first full appearance was in the Mighty Thor number 134 in November of 1966. So the story and the connection seems to line up perfectly, so Thor and the Guardians will most likely run into Adam Warlock in Thor Love and Thunder, and then take on the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But there is also one other character that makes a lot of sense story-wise for the Guardians and Thor to run into, and that is the Silver Surfer. The Eternals will hit the big screen soon, and it's widely speculated that they could be introducing and hinting at Galactus. Galactus is set to be the next big bad of the MCU, and if Galactus is coming, that means one of his heralds is coming first. And of course, the most famous herald is the Silver Surfer. Earth has drawn a lot of attention. It was ground zero for the snap, a cosmic energy burst that the universe has never seen before. And the purpose of the Silver Surfer is to seek out planets and energy that Galactus can consume, and it would just make sense that he would eventually run into Earth. And perhaps on his way to Earth, he runs into a ship, and on that ship are the Guardians and Thor. Now Thor is kind of an ancient being. He's over 1500 years old. He probably knows who Galactus is, and he definitely knows about the Heralds if he knows who he is. Because we know that Thor has to make it back to Earth for whatever reason. Jane Foster is on Earth, and we know that she's going to become Thor and wield Mjolnir in Love and Thunder. So perhaps the Silver Surfer is why he returns. The Guardians and Thor will be in space somewhere and they could run into him. After discovering who he is and what he plans to do, Thor could simply use Stormbreaker to summon the Bifrost to go back to Earth. And this is where Thor and the Guardians could split up. This would also provide a reason for why Jane is actually going to become Thor in the movie. Thor is a god, and quite possibly the strongest character that currently exists in the MCU. But when the Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus, comes, he will have the power cosmic. A power gifted to him from Galactus himself, and a power that Thor probably won't be able to handle on his own. But perhaps with the help of Jane Foster with another mighty Mjolnir, they might just stand a chance. So story-wise, the Silver Surfer makes a lot of sense, and after all, Christian Bale is speculated to be playing the Silver Surfer. But let me know, what do you think about this? What do you think is going to bring the Guardians and Thor together in Thor Love and Thunder, and then once again in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Drop all your thoughts and theories in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date on all things relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. I'm picking a winner at 550,000 subscribers. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for live MCU updates, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.